Hey guys, so this is three. So after a long time, unfortunately, I could not make the uh, videos for last few months. But going forward, you may expect for more videos related to the MySQL and the other technologies. Okay, so today I'm going to explain about the MySQL deadlock. This is the part one video. I am also planning to release one more video on this topic, which will be the part two. So in this video, we will see what is the deadlock in general and how we can create the deadlocks in MySQL and the how to monitor the deadlocks. Okay, there are few elements to monitor the deadlock. So how we can do that? We can do see one by one. So this will, as usual, this will be the complete demo session. So yeah, let's go to the topic. So first one is what is deadlock. Okay, so this is the explanation about the deadlock. Okay, so two or more transactions are wholesale locked that the other needs. Okay, which means let's consider two transactions. They are mutually hold the locks and both are looking the resources. But that is not possible because both are holding the logs and looking for the resources. Okay, in that scenario, what happens if there is no deadlock happen? It will wait. Okay, both the transactions will be wait until the InnoDB lock wait timeout. So to avoid that situation, the deadlock will be triggered when that scenario happens. I will show you in the terminal so you can understand this better. Yeah, so the next one is how to create the deadlock. So here I already formed the queries and everything. Let's go to the demo terminal. So I have the MySQL latest version 8.0.31. Let me increase this little bit. Okay, so I have the database already at plus. I have created two tables, T1 and T2. Okay, so here T1 and T2. On both table, I have three records. Okay, so I am creating one more session. Mm, yeah, okay. So here also two circles, show tables. Okay, so now I have two terminals. Okay, session, we can call it as session one and session two. So this is the session one. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start one transaction and I'm going to execute a select query. Okay, begin and select start from T1. This is T1 where ID equal to 3 for share. Okay, so this is in share mode. So in for share means it will create the share lock on the ID equal to 3. Okay, so in the next session, I'm going to start a transaction and here I'm going to execute one select first. So here what the query is, select star from T2. Okay, in the first session we do select star from T1 where ID equal to 3. Here select star from T2 where ID equal to 2. Here also I'm creating the share lock. Okay, then what I'm going to do in the same session 2, I'm going to execute this update. So what is this update is? Update T1. I am updating the T1 where name equal to xxs and I where ID equal to 3. Okay, the ID equal to 3 is already in lock. I mean already in the share lock. Okay, so when I execute this update, it update needs the exclusive lock on the ID equal to 3, but the ID equal to 3 is already in share lock. Okay, I will create one separate video explaining the share lock and exclusive lock. But so now if I execute this update query, it will be wait. Okay, you can see this update is currently waiting because ID equal to 3 is already in share lock. Okay, here. So now what I'm going to do is in session 1, I'm going to execute one update in session 1, I'm going to do update name equal to yyyy, where id equal to 2. Okay, on t2 table. Okay, if I go to the session 2, here that in t2 table id equal to 2 is already in the share. So now you can understand the situation. Like in session 1, I am locking the t1. I am trying to update the t1 table with the same id. It is waiting. Okay, in the session 1 here, I am going to update the t2 table with the id equal to 2. Id equal to 2 is already in lock. Okay, so now let's see what happens. So here you can see the deadlock is happened. Okay, because this id equal to 2 is already locked by here, locked by here, and this query is already looking for the resources from session 1, which is locked, that id equal to 3, which is already locked here. Okay, so we created the shared lock on 2 sessions, and we executed one update in one session. It is waiting, and again I am executing the update in the other session. It is not waiting. It is because already one update is waiting. When I execute this update in the session 1, it triggered the deadlock. Okay, so this is mutually, both the transactions are holding the lock, and when they are looking for the resources from each other, they are coming to the deadlock scenario. Okay, so this is how the deadlock is happening actually. Okay, fine. So now we can see where we can monitor the deadlocks, because if you get this deadlocks frequently in your application, it might create some issues from application end, right? So we need to avoid this deadlocks. Uh, so uh, it cannot be fixed from the database end. I mean, changing something. Mostly we need to focus from the application side to fix this. Okay, so I will explain that later during the fix session. So now we can see how to capture the details. So I need to know, right? For example, one application guy is coming to me and he is asking, hey, we face some deadlocks. Could you please check? Then I need to know which queries created that deadlock, right? I need the informations about the deadlock, right? So that we can see how we can gather that information. Okay, so first one is the show engine InnoDB status. So let me execute show InnoDB status. So here you can see the deadlock session, the latest deadlock session. Okay, so here this is the time of the deadlock, and here you can see which query created the deadlock, and how much row locks happens, and how much time it happened, how much time it was waited. So which user, those details you can get it from this. Okay, so but here you can only get the last deadlock. Okay, from for 1 hour, if you have some 5 deadlocks, you cannot get all that 5 deadlocks using this in show engine InnoDB status. It will have the details for only the last detected deadlock. Okay, not, it is not maintaining the history of deadlock. Okay, so by checking this show engine InnoDB status, you can just get the last detected deadlock. Okay, and also let me restart this MySQL service. The restart done. Now if I am checking the show engine InnoDB status, the deadlock is not there. Okay, that information is not there. So what happens when the restart happens, MySQL restart happens, that last detected in deadlock, that information will be removed from the show engine InnoDB status. So we cannot rely on this, but you can use this command to see the last detected deadlock on the running server. But if you want to monitor the history of deadlocks, then you need to look for the other options. Okay, Fine. So here I would recommend this tool, pt-deadlock-logger. This is very useful. Using this tool, you can log your deadlock informations into the table. You can monitor lively. You can store the details into the file. There are a lot of use case using this pt-deadlock-logger. So let's see how this is working. Okay. So for this is a Percona tool. You need to install the Percona toolkit. Okay, so I already installed the Percona toolkit here. After you install this Percona toolkit, you can see all the tools available in this kit. Okay, so here one tool is pt-deadlock-logger. So here is it. So using this tool, you can log all your pt deadlock, all your deadlock informations. Okay, so now after restart, we don't have any deadlock at the moment. So what I am going to do is I'm going to create one more deadlock. Now let me open one more session also here. Okay, so yeah, so let me create the deadlock now. Same queries I am going to execute begin, and I'm going to execute the same select. Ouch. Hercules. Use Hercules. Begin. I'm going to execute the same select in share mode for id equal to 3. Now I am going to session 2. Here also begin. I'm going to execute the same select here, and I'm going to execute the same update. It is waiting because that id equal to 3 is already locked here. So now I am going to execute the same update, and the deadlock is created. Okay, deadlock is created. So now let's see pt-deadlock-logger output. You can see the deadlock information here. Okay, so this is something which host, and this is your time and id, user, host name, user host name, database, table name, and here you can see the query. Okay, and you will get the information for both the tables. So this is the one way you can do the live monitor here. And one more recommended way is you can create one table. So here this is the table structure. You can find this table from the pt-deadlock-logger Percona documentation. You can find this table structure. I will so here just create this table, select star from deadlocks. Okay, now it is empty set. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I need to run one query. I need to call this pt-deadlock-logger with the destination. For example, pt-deadlock-logger destination is host, localhost, and Hercules database, and table name is deadlocks. Okay, deadlocks. So let me execute this. Let it run there. And show tables, select star from deadlocks. Okay, so now I can get the deadlock information in the table, directly in the table. So here I have these columns, that same output, that query and which lock mode and what is the transaction ID, thread ID, time, at which time the deadlock was created, what is the database name, and what is the username, host name. So you can get all the details, okay, about your deadlock. So 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 you can tell your application team, hey, at this time you have the deadlock, this is the query, and this is the user and host which created the deadlocks, and ask them to investigate that further. Okay, so you can run this pt-deadlock-logger script, and it will log the informations into the table. You can also demonalize, for example, pt-deadlock-logger hyphen help. Yeah, so here you can demonalize. So just add this option demonize here and run this tool. It will run in the background. Okay, so here you can see this tool is running in the background. So whenever the deadlock is happening in your database, it will collect the information and it will store into the deadlocks table. Okay, so whenever you want to query, investigate something, collect the information, you can just query this table and you can get all the information about your deadlock. Okay, fine. So this is one of the recommended way, I would say, because all your informations are in the table. You can just query the table to know about your deadlocks. Okay, and we have one more option. Uh, InnoDB print all deadlocks. Okay, so when we enable this variable, by default this variable is disabled. To when you enable this variable, it will log the deadlock informations in the MySQL error log. Okay. Yeah, to make sure, just make sure that you have the log error verbosity equal to 3. By default in 8 version, it is 2. It will not write the notes in the error log. Okay. So when you add this log verbosity equal to 3, it will write the notes. So it will mention like deadlock is detected something. So it is recommended to have the log error verbosity equal to 3 for more verbose informations. Okay, so let's see how this is working. Select method. Okay, set global. I am just making it 3, and also select at InnoDB print all deadlocks. Yeah, this is by default disabled. Set global InnoDB print all deadlocks equal to on. Okay, let's reconnect now. The variable is enabled, and also I change the log error verbosity equal to 3. Okay, fine. So now let's monitor the error log. Log error. This is the location. Let me tile this. Tile -f error log. Okay. So let's create one deadlock and see what is happening in here. Okay. So now there is no information so writing here. So let me create something here. Roll back, and I'm just reconnecting. And session 2 also I am roll back and just reconnecting. Okay, so now let's create the deadlock again. Begin, same select, and session 2 begin. Here also same select, and here I'm going to execute the same update which is waiting, and I'm going to execute the same update, and the deadlock is created. Okay, now let's see the error log. Here you can see some information. Okay, let me scroll up. Yeah, so here you can see transactions deadlock detected. Okay, so this is from the note tab. Okay, if you have the log error verbosity equal to 3, then you will have this notes in your error log. If you have log error verbosity equal to 2, these 2 lines will be skipped. Okay, it will not in the error log. So
by having that, you can see that deadlock is detected. Okay, so the information is starting from here for that information. Okay, so it is recommended to have the logger verbosity equal to 3. Okay, so now we created one deadlock and I am monitoring the error log. Here I can see the deadlock is detected, and here I can see the informations about my deadlock. This is the query created and this is the time, the same output as from the show engine inodb status. Okay, so this is about the second query. Here also you can see your query which created the deadlock, and other informations, time, transaction, which user host, yeah, other information. Okay, so this is also one of the way you can gather your history, maintain your collect your history of deadlocks in the MySQL error log. My favorite way is pt-deadlock-logger. There, because all the informations are stored in the table, you can just query the table and you can run that script in the daemon list. Yeah, okay. So this is how you can collect the informations, history of the informations about your deadlocks. Now we need to see how we can fix the deadlocks. Okay, there are a few ways. As I told you earlier, you need to focus in the application side to fix the deadlocks. Okay, so maybe you have some long transactions. You can convert them into smaller so that they will complete fast, and they will scan some less rows, so it will reduce the deadlocks. Okay, and add the proper indexes. Yeah, because if you don't have the proper indexes, it will scan huge rows. So that will also increase your query time, um, roll up those things. So that will also the reason for the deadlocks. You need to make sure your queries are optimized. They're using the proper indexes. Okay, and yeah, try to avoid two or more transactions touch the same data set, right? So like just realize the access from the application end. That will also helps to reduce the deadlocks in your system. Okay, so this is what I have today. As I told, this is the part one video. I'm also having the plan to release one more video, which will be the part two. There we will see how what happens when the deadlock arrives, and we have some other variables also, or deadlock related variables in the MySQL. I will go through it in the next session. Okay, and yeah, after a long time, I'm making the video. So going forward, you can look more videos related to MySQL and other technologies. And I am also having the plan to take the paid training starting from the next month. It is next year. So if someone is interested, you can reach me. And I am also willing to do the freelancing work from the January next month. If you have something, please let me know. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.